October in Southern California feels like borrowed summer. The hallway at the Fairmont Miramar smelled like eucalyptus and expensive candles, and my key card was warm against my palm. I could hear the ocean through the open balcony down the corridor, but all I focused on was the door next to mine. I didn't book that room alone. I brought someone Marcus would never expect. When you find out your husband reserved a night with someone else, you have two choices: look away or look closer. I chose the hallway. The thing about hotel keycards is they all feel the same. Smooth plastic, magnetic strip, room number in small print. Mine said 412, his said 414. We were separated by a wall so thin I could hear ice clinking in glasses. I stood in that corridor for 3 full minutes before I swiped my card, wondering if this was the stupidest or bravest thing I'd ever done. The eucalyptus-scented air felt thick. Down the hall, someone's television murmured through a closed door. The elevator chimed every few minutes, that soft ding that reminded me I was in a fancy hotel where people came to celebrate anniversaries, close business deals, or, apparently, cheat on their wives. I pressed my thumb against the card until the plastic bent slightly. Room 412. My room. The room I'd reserved with my own credit card, using my own name, so I could spend the night listening to my husband with another woman. Stupid or brave, I still wasn't sure. It started with an iPad notification. Tuesday morning, October 7th. I was sitting at our kitchen table in Pasadena, still in my bathrobe, drinking lukewarm coffee I'd picked up from Phil's the day before. The medium roast with a splash of cream. I always got the same thing. 32 years of marriage had turned me into a creature of habit. Outside, the jacarandas were mostly bare, just a few stubborn purple petals clinging to the branches. The morning air had that October coolness to it, the kind that burns off by 10 a.m., but feels sharp at 7. I could hear our neighbor, Mr. Chen, dragging his trash bins to the curb. Tuesday. Trash day. Everything predictable. Marcus had left for San Diego before dawn. At least, that's what he'd told me. He'd kissed my forehead while I was still half asleep, whispered something about traffic on the I-5, and I'd mumbled, "Drive safe," into my pillow. I didn't think anything of it. Marcus traveled for work all the time. Consulting gigs in Long Beach, meetings in San Diego, the occasional conference at some resort in Orange County. It was normal. It was our life. The iPad sat between the fruit bowl and my stack of student files. I taught part-time at a community college, coordinating academic planning for students who were trying to figure out their lives. Ironic, considering I was about to discover I had no idea what was happening in my own. The iPad pinged. I glanced at it. Email notification. Reservation confirmed. Fairmont Miramar Hotel and Bungalows, October 10th, 11. Guest, M. Morales, plus 1. My hand froze halfway to my coffee mug. I read it again. Fairmont Miramar, Santa Monica, October 10th. That was this Friday, 3 days away. Marcus and I shared the iPad for grocery lists, calendar reminders, shared photos. We'd always been open like that. No secrets, no locked phones. We used to joke that we were too old and too boring to have anything to hide. The +1 sat there on the screen, like a stain I couldn't wipe off. I set my coffee down slowly. My hands were steady. That surprised me. I thought they'd shake, but they didn't. I opened his email. We'd always had each other's passwords. One of those early marriage decisions we'd made back when we were young and idealistic and thought trust meant total transparency. His password was still the same one from 15 years ago. Dodgers 1990, the year we got married. His inbox loaded, work emails, spam, a receipt from Home Depot for wood stain, a reminder about renewing his contractor's license. And then I saw them. 3 emails from Elena Cortez. Subject, Thursday works. Subject, can't wait. Subject, room preferences? My stomach dropped. I clicked the most recent one, sent October 4th, 3 days ago. Marcus, I requested the ocean view like you said. Should I get there first, or do you want to check in together? Either way, I'm excited. It's been too long since we had a whole night. E. The room tilted. I read it again, then again. It's been too long since we had a whole night. A whole night. Not a lunch, not a coffee. A whole night. In a hotel, in Santa Monica, with ocean views. I sat there staring at the screen until the letters started to blur. Outside, Mr. Chen's trash truck rumbled past. A crow cawed from the jacaranda tree. Someone's gardener started up a leaf blower 3 houses down. Everything was exactly the same, except it wasn't. I stood up, walked to the bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror. 58 years old, gray streaks I'd stopped dyeing 2 years ago, lines around my eyes. I looked tired. I looked like someone's mother, someone's wife, someone who just found out her husband was planning to spend the night with another woman. I didn't cry. Not yet. I brushed my teeth, got dressed. Dark jeans, a gray sweater, my oldest Nikes with the worn-out soles I kept meaning to replace. I grabbed my bag, my keys, my travel mug of cold coffee. I drove to campus like it was any other day. I taught my 9 a.m. session on academic planning. I smiled at students. I answered questions about prerequisite classes and transfer credits. I had office hours from 11 to noon and helped a 19-year-old figure out whether to major in psychology or sociology. Follow what interests you, I told her. You can't predict the future, but you can choose what makes you curious. She thanked me and left. I sat alone in my office and stared at the wall. The whole time, one sentence looped in my head like a song I couldn't turn off. It's been too long since we had a whole night. By Wednesday, October 8th, I had a plan. I wasn't going to scream or throw plates or change the locks while he was gone. I wasn't that person. I was 58 years old. I'd raised 2 kids, Adriana, 30, living in Portland with her wife and their toddler, Daniel, 27, teaching English in South Korea. I'd managed a household for 3 decades. I'd worked part-time for 20 years while Marcus built his consulting business. I'd survived my mother's Alzheimer's, Daniel's car accident at 16, the recession in 2008 when Marcus lost 2 major clients. I wasn't going to fall apart in my kitchen over an email. But I also wasn't going to sit home on Friday night, pretending I didn't know my husband was in a hotel bed with someone named Elena. I needed to see it. Not because I wanted to torture myself, because I needed proof. I needed to know for sure, so that when I made my decision, whatever that decision would be, I'd be making it with my eyes open. So I called the Fairmont Miramar. It was 11 a.m. I was sitting in my Prius in the Phil's Coffee parking lot on Old Pasadena, staring at my phone. I'd already looked up the hotel online. 5-star, ocean views, historic bungalows, a Morton Bay fig tree that was over 100 years old. The kind of place you take someone you want to impress. I dialed. The phone rang 3 times. Fairmont Miramar Hotel and Bungalows. This is Stephanie. How may I assist you today? Her voice was bright, professional, the kind of voice that made you feel like you were calling a spa instead of a hotel. Hi, I said, keeping my voice even. I need to book a room for October 10th, 1 night, but I have a specific request. Of course. What can I help with? I'd rehearsed this. I'd practiced it in the car on the way to Phil's. I'd even written it down on a sticky note to make sure I got the words right. I have anxiety about staying in hotels alone, I said. I saw that my colleague has a reservation for room 414. I know this is unusual, but is it possible to book the room directly next door? It would really help me feel safer knowing someone I know is nearby. There was a pause. I held my breath. Let me check our availability, Stephanie said. I could hear her typing. My heart pounded so loud I thought she might hear it through the phone. We do have room 412 available, she said finally. It's a deluxe ocean view king. Same floor, directly adjacent to 414. Would that work for you? Yes, I said. My voice came out steadier than I felt. That's perfect. Wonderful. Can I have your name and payment information? I gave her my credit card. My hands shook as I read out the numbers. You're all set, Mrs. Morales. Your reservation is confirmed for October 10th. Check-in at 3 p.m. Check-out is 11 a.m. on the 11th. Is there anything else I can help you with today? No, thank you. Our pleasure. We look forward to seeing you Friday. I hung up. I sat in my car for 15 minutes, watching people walk in and out of Phil's with their coffees and their laptops and their normal Wednesday problems. Then I drove to the CVS on Colorado Boulevard. The automatic doors whooshed open, the smell of air conditioning and pharmacy, Halloween decorations everywhere, plastic skeletons, fake cobwebs, bags of candy corn already on sale. I grabbed a small spiral notebook from the stationery aisle, black cover, 100 pages, and a blue ballpoint pen. If I was going to do this, I was going to document it. Times, dates, what I heard, what I saw. Not for a lawyer, necessarily. Just for me. So I'd have a record, so I wouldn't second-guess myself later. I paid cash. The cashier, a teenager with braces, smiled and wished me a nice day. I drove home. The sky was that perfect California blue, 74 degrees, light breeze carrying the scent of someone's jasmine hedge from 2 blocks over. The kind of day tourists post on Instagram with captions like, "Another day in paradise." Everything looked beautiful. Everything felt like a lie. I didn't want to do this alone. Thursday morning, October 9th. I woke up at 6 a.m., made coffee, sat on the back patio, watching the sky lighten from purple to pink to blue. Marcus had texted me at 10 p.m. the night before. "Miss you. San Diego meeting went long. Staying another night. Home Saturday. Saturday. After the hotel. After Elena." I didn't reply. At 7:30, I texted Anna Morales, Marcus's younger sister. 55, divorced 3 years ago after she found out her husband Steve had been sleeping with someone he met at a CrossFit gym. She'd handled it with more grace than I thought possible. Filed for divorce, split everything 50-50, walked away without burning his life down. We'd gotten close after that. Monthly lunches, phone calls when one of us needed to vent. She understood betrayal in a way most people didn't. "Can you meet me for coffee? It's important," she replied in 2 minutes. "Earth Cafe, Melrose, 1 hour, see you there." I showered, dressed, drove west on the 134, merged onto the 101. The morning traffic was heavy but moving. I passed Glendale, Burbank, took the exit for West Hollywood. Earth Cafe was packed. Every table full of people in athleisure with MacBooks and green smoothies. The smell of coffee and fresh-baked bread. I found Anna at a corner table near the window, already holding a latte. She was wearing jeans and a black blazer, her dark hair pulled back. She looked like she'd come from work. She was a paralegal at a law firm in Burbank. She took one look at my face and said, "What did he do?" I sat down. I told her everything. The iPad notification, the emails, the reservation, the +1, Elena Cortez. It's been too long since we had a whole night. Her jaw tightened with every sentence. "Marcus," she said when I finished. Not a question. Just his name, flat and disappointed. I booked the room next door. She stared at me. "You what?" "Room 412. I'm checking in tomorrow at 3. He's in 414 with her." "Claire, I need you to come with me." "Are you serious?" "I'm not going alone, and I'm not going to do anything crazy. I just need to see it. I need to confirm it's real, and I need someone there so I don't completely lose my mind." Anna stirred her latte slowly, staring down at the foam. Outside, a bus hissed past. Someone's dog barked. A couple walked by holding hands, laughing about something. "This is insane," she said finally. "I know." "You're going to sit in a hotel room next to your husband while he's with another woman." "Yes." "And then what?" "I don't know yet. Maybe nothing. Maybe I just listen, confirm it, and leave. Maybe I confront him. I haven't figured that part out." She looked at me for a long time. Her eyes were dark, serious. She'd been through this. She knew what it felt like to have the ground open up under you. "What's the plan?" she asked. "We check in. We stay quiet. If I hear enough to confirm what's happening, we leave. If I need to confront him, we do it calmly, in public. No screaming in hallways, no breaking down doors. And if he sees you before that, then he sees me." She exhaled slowly. "Okay. Okay? I'm in. But we're setting ground rules. No breaking into their room. No recording anything illegal. No throwing things. No getting arrested." "Agreed." We shook hands across the table like we were signing a business contract. I ordered a blueberry muffin I didn't eat. Anna got a refill on her latte. We sat there for another 20 minutes, not saying much, just watching people come and go. Before I left, Anna squeezed my hand. "You're stronger than you think." I wasn't sure I believed her. That night, I packed a small overnight bag. Toothbrush, change of clothes, phone charger, the notebook and pen from CVS. I zipped it up and set it by the front door. Marcus called at 8 p.m. "Hey babe, just checking in." "Hi. I'll be in San Diego tomorrow, probably staying over. Client dinner ran late tonight, and I have an early site visit in the morning." "San Diego," I repeated. "Yeah, sorry. I know I said I'd be home sooner. I'll be back Saturday morning, promise." "Okay. Everything good at home?" "Fine. Love you." I stared at the phone. "Drive safe." He hung up. I stood in the kitchen holding my phone, listening to the hum of the refrigerator, the distant sound of a neighbor's TV through the wall. He was a good liar. That was the part that hurt the most. 32 years, and I'd never known. Friday, October 10th, 3:15 p.m. The Fairmont Miramar sat on a 5-acre property right off Ocean Avenue, overlooking the Pacific. Palm trees swayed in the afternoon breeze. The main building was a cream-colored tower with balconies facing the water. Scattered across the gardens were the bungalows, 1930s style, with private patios and lush landscaping. It was the kind of place people came for anniversaries or affairs. I pulled my Prius up to the valet stand. A young guy in a white shirt and black vest smiled and opened my door. "Welcome to the Fairmont Miramar." "Thanks." He handed me a ticket. I watched him drive my car away, and for a second I thought about getting back in and leaving, just driving home, pretending I never saw the email. But I didn't. Anna was waiting in the lobby. She wore sunglasses and a black sweater, looking like she was attending a funeral, which, in a way, maybe she was. "Ready?" she asked. "No." The lobby was stunning. High ceilings, white marble floors, massive arrangements of white orchids on the front desk, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the gardens and the ocean beyond. Everything smelled like lavender and money. I walked to the front desk. The clerk was a woman in her 30s, professional smile, name tag that said Stephanie. "Welcome to the Fairmont Miramar. Checking in?" "Yes, Claire Morales, room 412. She typed. "Perfect. I have you here for one night. Is this your first time staying with us?" "Yes." "Wonderful. You're in the Palisades wing, 4th floor, ocean view. Here are your key cards." She slid 2 across the counter. "Elevators are just to your left. Checkout is 11 a.m. tomorrow. Is there anything else I can help with?" "No, thank you." Anna and I walked to the elevator. The doors closed, just the 2 of us. Soft jazz playing through the speakers. I watched the numbers light up. 1, 2, 3, 4, ding, 4. The doors opened onto a long hallway. Soft lighting, cream-colored walls, abstract paintings in gold frames. The air smelled like eucalyptus and something floral I couldn't name. The carpet was thick and silent under our feet. Room 412 was 6 doors down on the right. 414 was right next to it. I stood there for a second, staring at his door. My husband's door. The door he'd walk through tonight with someone else. I swiped my key card. The lock clicked. Green light. We stepped inside. The room was beautiful. King bed with white linens, flat-screen TV. Sitting area with a small couch and coffee table. And the view. floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Pacific. The water was deep blue, sparkling in the afternoon sun. I could see the Santa Monica Pier in the distance, the Ferris wheel turning slowly. Anna set her bag on the chair. Now what? I walked to the wall that separated our room from 414, pressed my ear against it. Nothing. Silence. We wait, I said.